Here's a little video on how to quad load. My name's Ian Corrigan and I'm a shooter and instructor at Rossendale Rapid Fire PSG team up in Rossendale. We get a lot of questions from new shooters on what's the best way to load. I personally prefer quad loading, as do the vast majority of the top shooters in the UK and Europe, as I feel that it's a fast and efficient way to learn how to load without too many complications. Okay, this video is made only using dummy rounds. These are made up by a guy at our club, a guy called Dave Smith. They have no primer. They've got wad instead of powder. However, they do have lead shot, so that's 28 grams, and a fibre wad over there, so a fibre card to make sure that they don't come out. And I practice with these and never with live ammunition. Okay, looking at my belt configuration, I'm actually right-handed, but I'm going to do a weak hand load with my Supernova, so I'll be grabbing the ammo with my left hand. This line here is pretty much the furthest extent of the ammo I'd load for my left hand, and it's in line with my centre line. So if we're kind of looking, sort of, there's my zip, there's my belly button, there's the ammo. I'll be grabbing the ammo, pulling it out like so, and then loading it into the gun in front of me. And so all the caddies are arrayed around my body to the left. They're pretty much in line, pretty much vertical, and that's my preferred choice. I've got a metal plate in my wrist. I find it very difficult to grab ammo side on. Lots of people find that perfectly reasonable. Sometimes it's at an angle. For me, it's horizontal, and that's kind of how I like to have it. Choice is ultimately yours. Okay, looking at a sort of standard load, we roll the gun over, push 4 in, and put it back to a normal position. It's relatively straightforward. You're basically turning the gun over, holding it like so, fingers on the sort of, I don't know what you call that, that's a sort of pin there, retaining pin, and the other finger is along the top of the shotgun. And then we're grabbing the rounds, like so, and just pushing them into the action. Okay, so looking at the load in slow motion, we're grabbing the rounds from the caddy, first from the front and then sort of like so. We're holding the thumb on top of the first pair. We're gripping the first pair with our middle finger, our index finger, and the third finger, and then the tiny little finger is effectively just holding the second pair in place. Effectively, that's our load. We line them up onto the top of the shotgun, and then we push the first pair in, like so. They go in with the thumb, and you'll notice that I've splayed my hand out into a sort of square shape to ensure that the second pair pass along the side of the shotgun. That's why the fore end is cut away here, to allow that action to take place. You then have the second pair in your hand, so you just bring your hand back and then push forwards again with the thumb pushing them forward. So looking at again, slow motion. Relatively straightforward to push in. Again, same grab, push, see the splayed hand there, and then push. That's 12 in. Okay, points to watch out for is an incorrect grab. So you're not grabbing properly on the first rounds. So you see the first pair not being held there properly. Trying to put them in, they'll split, splay, etc. You need to bring your hand back and re-push them in. So that's one that can go wrong, is grabbing them too low, and you have that sort of scenario, and that makes it very difficult for me to get the rounds in because my thumb is not pushing along the back of them. Effectively, they're sort of escaping from me. So that's the only real way to get those in there, is to restart. Another area to look out for is an overly firm grip on the middle rounds, on the middle of the rounds. Again, that can cause us to sort of have a little bit of a splaying effect that can sometimes put the rounds out of alignment. Effectively, you want a nice grip, not too tight. Too loose, again, of course, can result in them going sort of a bit awry. But ultimately, you want to make sure that they're sort of held firmly in the hand, but not too tight that they're splaying, and not too loose that they're splaying again in the opposite direction. Another area to look out for is your follow through. So as you're pushing the rounds forward, that you are pushing them all the way into the gun. Not all the way into the gun causes a round to pop back, and then effectively have to line up all three behind it. So it's not as efficient. You just have to make sure that you're going all the way through. You feel your finger touching that part there, that sort of inner part of the magazine tube, as it just goes through like so. Yeah, notice the thumb in that sort of position as it goes into the gun, pushing in, rather than a kind of that sort of position as it comes across. Otherwise you've got the danger that it'll just pop back out again. And just to finish off, we've got a quick little demo of me loading 8 on a par time of 4.25. Hopefully you found the video useful. If you've got any questions, contact us through the Facebook page.